Okay, you ready?
Okay, did you put me online? Or we can wait?
Yeah, we can start. You ready? Where are you?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I just don't know if they can hear us already. Okay. All right, Hasham, are you ready?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Teams, and my name is Hasham Niaz. I'm a consultant and BI trainer, and I'm an author as well. So with this, let's provide a brief introduction. So I have been awarded Power BI 2018 Ruby Award and then the Sapphire Award in 2019 as well. I have been involved with the Power BI community for past 15 years. I have been part of the MCT community as well. I have been doing, yes, okay. So can you hear me again? Okay, restart from the beginning. Okay, no problem. So my name is Hasham Niaz. Okay, let me do one thing here. Let me know if you guys can hear. Yes. So, okay. So hopefully you guys are hearing me fine now. So my name is Hasham Niaz. I'm a Power BI consultant, trainer, and speaker as well. I have been to different BI conferences. I have won a Power BI 2018 Ruby Award, and then in 2019 I have Power BI Sapphire Award. I'm MIE expert as well, Microsoft Innovative Educator Experts. Other than that, I have been involved with MCT community, Power BI community in Middle East and Gulf region. So I have more than 15 years of BI experience. So we will talk about today. Our topic is for Power BI for sales team. So we will talk how sales team can leverage Power BI to enhance their productivity and get more out of the tool. So with this, let's you can, if you useful resources for today's session, you can download the Power BI desktop. If you are not familiar with the desktop it is a Power BI desktop is a tool you can use to model and develop your reports, to model your data and develop your report. So the sample data is available at this particular URL which I shared here. So if somebody is need to follow the today's workshop, they can use that data as well. So today's workshop has been assigned into 3 different exercises, 3 different sections. The first section we will talk how to create sales by city, and then we will try to dissect how you can actually uh, plot the sales by product line, and then in the final thing we will talk about different layout techniques, the report layout technique. So this is the brief agenda. We will spend 20 minutes on each exercise, and by the end of this day we will have finished something like that. So these are 2 outputs. Okay, let me know if okay. So this is what something look like. We will develop something like this. Either this one, this is the first output, or the second one, this is the second one. So if you can just vote for the idea, first one or the second one, whichever looks right for you, we can start from the beginning and we can follow it up. So without further ado, let's move right into the Power BI desktop file. So now with this, I have shown something like what would be the end output. Now with this, let's move to the Power BI desktop file. So now I'm going to move to the Power BI desktop file. So here I'm now sharing my screen rather than the sharing. So I'm sharing my whole screen here. Okay, so you guys can see my screen now, right? So this is the blank Power BI file which we are going to use for our today's session. So we have 3 different exercises as I discussed. So let's try to do something with our data, how our data looks like. So I will show you how our data looks like and what is the composition of our data. So with this, let's just see this one. So this is my sample file. This is my sample data, sales data look like. I have fetched this data from global supermarket store. So this has invoice ID, then the branch, country, city, customer type, gender, product line. The interesting fields are sales, the sales amount, rating of the customers, and the date and time of the purchase or sale value. So this is our sales file look like, and then we have other transactional files as well. So we have 2000 every year we have a file 2018, 19 and 20. So we have different sales files as well with us. And if I show you the output file which we are going to develop right now after this session, which you will be able to achieve. So this is the output Power BI desktop file which you are going to achieve, and I can show you here as well. So this is the output we are after. So we are going to develop something like this. Okay, so now you see I have this blank file available with me. It does not have any connection. It does not have any model. So we will try to model it up as well for you. So let's quickly go into the modeling part or other parts as well. So if I need to go to the modeling or need to connect with the data, so I have hosted this file in my SharePoint directory, SharePoint online directory. So I have this file available. So let's try to bring this file up. So to do this, I will go to the get data and I will go to the SharePoint folder because I have placed this file into a SharePoint folder. These are the Excel files. So I create a new parameter called SharePoint source and I will quickly place the value of this file here and I will try to connect it up. So since I'm already logged in, it won't ask me to authenticate. So let's try to click combine and load, combine and transform. So there are multiple files available. So I can select what files I need to load into my data model. So for the purpose of this particular demonstration, I will use two files, year 2019 and 2020 data. So I'm not interested in 2018 data. So I will just show you how you can select those files as well. So when I click this, select the table, it will show me the preview and I click OK. And it will try to come up with some of the relationships it has or something like that. So with this, it opens up a Power Query window here for me. And in the Power Query window, you can see I have this file, so I can load more. So it shows me all the files available for me. So I select these files. So I need to know 2019 and 20 as I mentioned earlier. So I load these two files and then I can rename the query to sales as well. And let's try to save this query. And so now we have some data in our file. We have made the connection to our data source. Hopefully you guys are following me till this point. Okay. Once it will load, because there are like, it could be millions or billions of rows. Currently we have like some 1,000 rows. So it will take few minutes to load the data. And once we load, we will save this file as well. So we don't get lost of this data. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can type it into the query window. I'll be able to answer the question in between the sections. So you always welcome the question. You can type, use the chat window. You can type the questions. So you see, we have loaded this particular data and the data is available in our model as well. So now I'm trying to save this file. And I'm trying to save this as sales analysis 1.4. So this is the file available. I have saved it. Now if I quickly go back and I create one table and I call the table name as calendar. So to create a calendar table, I go to the modeling tab, I create a new table, and then I write a statement called this. So why I'm creating this, I will just tell you in a minute. So to create a calendar table, if you go back to our theme here, this is the file. So I have this year available, month available. So I'm trying to create a calendar table or calendar dimension. Through that, I can filter all my data. So that's why I create a calendar table in my model, and then I can join my table here. And to join, I can create a relationship between my calendar table and my sales table. On which particular field I want to create a relationship? I want to create a relationship on date field. So once I made this connection, I close this. So you see that here. Now let's try to see the sales value. So here I have already sales column. Let's try to bring it onto the card. So my total sales is 1.86 million. And then if I try to put date and change it to the filter, and I remove year, month, quarter, and if I select any particular year, it will show me the sales of that particular year. So that's how I create, that's why I create the sales table, sorry, the calendar table, so we can have the relationship and we can filter it out. So now since we have now our data available, now let's try to go back to the PowerPoint presentation. So let's try to review our exercise number 1. So exercise number 1 was to show sales by city. So we need to show sales by city, and then for that we need to create a measure called sales and number of orders, and we can add images and we can create a visual to show sales and orders by city. So to do that we need few measures, and we need to create few measures for that particular purpose to show number of orders and number of sales. So to create a very basic measure here, you can right click on this particular table, you can click a new measure from here. From the home tab you can click a new measure as well from here, this point, and on the modeling tab you can create a new measure as well. So I will do a different method here. From the home tab I will create a table called enter data, and I will rename this table as underscore measures. So this creates a new table for me with the blank column, right? So this create a new table with the blank column, column name 1. So what I'm doing here, going to do here is like I will create all my measures in this particular table. So that's why I create this with the underscore prefix. So this is the top table in my fields pane. This will be the top pane, and all my measures are clubbed into this particular table. So I create a new measure called number of orders, or so how I'm doing the number of orders thing. So I create a measure called number of orders. So I create this measure called number of orders, and I'm counting the rows in my model. So this is like only counting distinct rows, because I assume that for the purpose of simplicity, we assume that every row is a unique invoice number. So this is how our model is. So once I plot this one, so I can show you here as well. So these are total number of orders in year 2020, and this is the total number of order in year 2019. So since I have already created a measure, I don't need this particular column. I can save this out as well. So with this, I have something like I have sales, but if you remember, I have created this not from the measure. This is coming from the sales field. So I need to create a measure as well. So to create a measure, I will just have this simple DAX. I can go back here, create a new measure. I call this underscore sales. And I call this sum of sales. So this is actually summing up the sales. And if I do it like this, so this is decimal place, and I can place this here as well. So with this, I have 1.22 million, which is similar to the one which I was showing you earlier. So now I have this particular sales available with me as well. Now let's save this file and go back to the exercise 1. So exercise 1 asks you to first create a measure called sales and number of orders. So we have created a measure called number of orders and sales. Now next part it shows us to create is a visual to show sales and order by city. So how you create this one? So to create this one, let's go back to our exercise, to the output. So this is actually showing you the sales by city, and you can have the number of orders here as well. So let's try, or if you remember, I have shown you the earlier image, like this is showing you the number of orders by city and the sales. So you can do it like this. So let's try to do both, and then we can move on. So first we have number of sales, number of orders as well. So this is my year filter. So let's try to place this one side, and I create a new, I plot this as number of orders, and I change this as a matrix, and I plot number of sales, sorry, the sales as well. And if I plot it against the city, because I have the city available in my rows, so if I add it as city, so now this is showing me sales and number of orders by city, but this is looking not very presentable, not nowhere near to the one visual which I have shown you. So how to create or generate this appealing effect? So to do this, what I will do, I will just show you here. You go back here and let's try to change. If I go back in the view tab, so I have this thing called customize current theme. So these are gray. So I don't want these gray to be here. So first thing I need is I want everything to be black in my report, every text to be black. So I just copy paste this one here and I apply and save. So now these are all blacks. Now I need to format this one. So if I go back here, if I go to the style, I say I don't need to apply any style. So I have lost all the styling here, right? So which is good for me because I don't need any styling. So with this, let's try to add something here as well. So if I go to the column headers, you can align the column header, you can auto size, things like that. So how you need to do it? So if I open the file here, the file, meanwhile this file is loading. So let's go to the row padding here and we can add conditional things here. So if I click here in the conditional formatting, so I can turn on the background or the font colors or data bars here. So if I am going to go to the sales, I can add the data bars here. So this is the data bar coming up and I go to the advanced control and I can show the data bars need to show this particular thing. And also I can go to the field formatting and I say for the sales display unit is in thousands. So now this is becoming 396K, right? Which is good. And if I go here, so I have more spacing available here as well. So if I need more spacing, I can actually create this in that particular order. Okay, so now let's go back to the values. I need to increase the font size as well because I think so. Once I change this as 14, now this is becoming more visible. And if I go back to my column headers, I can change the size here as 14 as well. So this is 14, this is 14 as well. And I can change the journal size here as well for the row headers. I can change the size to 14 as well. So now you are seeing that we have something so still we are way far. So to do this, what I'm doing here is like I have added this theme. And I go to the style, sorry, I go to the grid. So we have horizontal vertical grid off, but I turn the row padding to 10. So now you see we have a lot of spacing available here as well. So I create, so if I do it like this, 15, so I have enough space available here between the rows. So I generate those rows here as well. And if I turn this online color as well, so I can have this as white, which is showing you here. So I have this thing available. So let's go back again here. So in the grid, we have set the padding, to set the text size 14. We have set the image height and every property here as well. Now go back to the columns. So in the columns, if you see here, we have only one color, font is black. So I'm fine with it. So we don't need to change anything onto the column side. Same with the row headers, we have fine with the black background and this is fine for us. Now into the value section, I have changed this to 14 text as well. into the subtotal, if I turn this off, so I don't need this subtotal to be on. And what I can do, I can actually, if you see here, I need to increase those as well. And if you see, I can align those things as well. So how do I align those things? So to align those things, you need to go to the field formatting. So I will collapse all those three here for now. I will collapse row header, column headers, and every other property. And I will go to the value, and I have this in the values. I don't need to change anything or into the subtotal. So I go to the fields formatting, and then here alignment, I say, okay, let's center align those things, right? So now this is becoming more feasible or readable for me. And I will do same for this one as well. So in the 1000, and then I need alignment to be centered. So this becoming appear into the center of, right? So I have this thing available. So once I did the formatting, now for the column headers, so these are my column headers. If I change the color of my column headers to white, so this become, and I can add images. So if I insert an image, so I have this logo which is order, so I can place this one here as well. So which is now going to show you something similar, like, okay, so usually the image size is 60/60. So I have this image available, and I can insert one more image. I have this dollar image as well. So the images are self-explanatory. So when I did this, and I place this image here as well, and to do some kind of effect, what you are seeing, so I go to the selection, and I say this as matrix, and this image as this image as $, and then I want this to matrix to be loaded first, and then I can group all these three together. If I group these three, I have this group. I can name this group as city sales, and then when I move this one, these all move together. One thing, I made a mistake maybe, so I need to have this matrix later on. So this is how, and even if I move, so this is, now these are appearing first. Okay, so with this, we have something very similar to the one which I have created here. And if you remember that this is a blue background and I'm not showing, so to do this, you can simply click here, go to the selection, you select the matrix, and then what you can do, to the column headers, you can set the background to the white. So you have this one available, but the problem here is now this, because I set the font. So if I set the font to the same color, so it won't appear. So now fine. So we have fixed this issue as well. So with this, you have something similar, very similar to the one which I have shown you here. But this is looking more beautiful because we have set the background of it as well. So to this, I can set the background here as well. I can set from the customize current theme. I can go, I set some things, some fields here as well. So for the text side, I just set this 14s12 and 16s14s title as well. KPI, I set those as 24. Tab headers is fine. Visuals, I set background border. I turn on the border and I set these border header settings as well. So once I do those things, I save this one. So you see you have this background available here as well. For the images, what I need to turn off the border. So because we don't need the border for the images. So now this looks very similar, and you can always play with the size as well, and you can adjust the image. So you can adjust it. So this image is now looking more familiar with the one which we have. So this is how you create your first chart, which is city, number of orders. So you created the exercise 1, you created number of sales and order, and you showed it by city and in the visual. So this is your first exercise which you have done. Any question till this point? We are open for the questions. If you have any question, you can just ask the question here. So there are no questions, so I should go ahead. So now we will move to the exercise number 2. So what our exercise number 2 does? So exercise 2 is about creating a average sales value and percentage sales increase measure. And then we need to create the visual to show average sales and sales percentage increase by product line. So this is probably this one, average sales and the percentage increase, or maybe this one. This is the average sales value. So I'm trying to now do this something like that, and then we can copy a new page. We can duplicate a page here as well. So let's say sales, and this is sales by city. Let's try to remove everything from here and create a new measure first. So we need to create a new measure. So I can delete this one as well. So I don't need to highlight. So let's save the file for now for a minute. Okay, so we have done our exercise 1. Now let's move to the exercise number 2. So we need to create two measures. It is asking us to create two measures called average sales and the percentage sales increase. To create an average sales measure, we simply need to divide the sales value with the number of orders. So this is a very simple. So what I'm doing here is I'm dividing the sales by number of orders, and once I click this one, so this is my average sales value. So if I click this one and I remove this into the chart, so this is showing me the average sales value, which is 307. So this is the average order size or average basket size, you could say. So I have this. Now the other thing it is asking us to create is to create a measure called sales increase, percentage sales increase. So how do you create a measure called percentage sales increase? I have already this statement, but I can show you here. So either you can go from the home tab, the quick measure, or you can right click. So I'm creating this from here, the quick measure thing, and I'm creating a measure called choosing a collection called year over year change. So I'm going to measure the year over year change, and from the date base value, I need to create percentage sales increase of sales, and I'm providing the date value here. So once I click OK, it will generate a DAX for me. So this is the DAX which it has created. So what it is doing, it is creating a percentage sales over year increase. So what it is doing, it is creating a sales of previous year, and then it is dividing the current year sales minus previous year sales with the previous year sales. So this will yield into the year over year increase. So if I plot this particular measure here as well into our chart here, and I change this to so if I change this to 2020. So I'm hearing a echo. Can somebody mute? So there, this thing is, it is showing a minus 46% decline. I will just tell you the reason behind it. So if I copy paste this particular visual here, and rather than placing, I place the month instead of year. And now if I select those months, okay, if I select, so now this is showing me the aggregated value. So if I select till June, so this is a 4.9% increase. So if I want to select only 1 month, I can see it for the 1 month as well. For the May, 59% increase, 52% increase, 10%, 3%, the January 6% increase. So I can see those as well. Any question we have? Okay, so we have a question from a user that these sample files he's not able to see. So the question answer might be like, okay, I guess maybe the link has been expired. So, okay, oh, no problem. Thank you. So let's try to do some magic here as well. So we have created in exercise 2, we have to create few measures here, average measure, average and percentage sales increase. So we have created. So now to create few visuals, we will go back and we will try to model our frame as well. So we have almost spent 30 minutes into our session. Let's try to do some formatting and before we move to the final part. So I will go to the customize current theme and I will just quickly, I have already set up those things, title, cards, KPIs, tab headers, visual border, header, tooltip, page, and everything else. So I save this one for now. And there is one thing which I need to turn off, which is a visual header. So what it does is like this icon which is appearing here. If I turn this off, it won't appear when you are in the reading view into the Power BI service. So you can turn this off or you can leave it as it is. So now let's try, because I'm going to place a text box here. So I place the text box here and I set the size. I maybe say this as 24. So let's say this is a sales dashboard. Okay. So here I have changed the title and have aligned this one. So if I go back, what is the size? I can place it here. I can arrange 10 is the position I will use for here, and I can set the width as 240 as okay. So also what you can do, you can arrange the, because I'm going to fill this up. So I have this one, I have background. So with the background, I say this is the background. So this is more. Now I need to arrange other things as well. So let's arrange this visual as well. So I will change this to a drop down. So this will be less space. And then since I do all those things from 10, not above 220. We can one more. Okay. So I think I'm fine with the width of 200. So let's keep it symmetric. So I will do all the widths as 200 here, and then the height would be something like it. And I need a calculator here as well. So this one is fine with me. So I need to adjust this one as well, this month filter. So it will start from 10, 30, and then I will do the same width, set the same width here, and I say 370. Yes, 370 is perfect. One few more things I need to do here. If you see there is no title, so I need to set the title, and I can turn this off, and I can turn the title as month. And with this, I have more options for the font color. So font color is white, background is blue. So I'm now moving into the part where it's called. Okay, so I have done this one, and I need to do the same for the ear as well. So if I go to the ear, I turn off the slicer header and I turn on the title. So here we have the title, and then the same thing for the font and the background I set. Also, rather than doing it here, I can actually save the customized theme, and then this will be auto. So if I go to the home tab and I view and I save this current theme as it is, so all those header properties will be saved as it is. So now I have this one available. So let's keep our focus into the month of May, and here I made the selection of 2020, right? And I need one more filter, what that filter should be. So what about if I add one more filter called city, and rather than doing it like that, if I make a copy of this particular visual, and let's place it. So this is same, and I can change the title here as well. So this, let's leave it this city. Let's change this one to, I can change this here. So this is becoming a city, and I can change the title to city here as well. So now I have a filter called city, which showing me all the cities, available cities in my model, and then I need to readjust this one. So if I go back here to 30 plus 10, so I need to adjust this position. So this is, so you see all the symmetries are here, and I'm only facing this one, right? So we have this one. Now what other visuals it is asking? It is asking us in exercise to create a visual to show average sales and increase by product line. So most probably this will be the chart we are going to develop here, or either this one, or you are going to see this chart. So let's try to bring another theme outline here. So to do that, what I'm going to do, like let's say if I'm trying to achieve this particular theme here. So if I click this one, this is the text box. Let's try to generate the same from here. So what I can do, I can create a chart, a simple chart, and I can make a heading of it as well. So I create a text box. So the text box is already there. So you can go simply insert a text box, and I can insert a text box, and I don't need this one. So the positioning I would say is, sorry, not the 10, 220 and 10. So we have the spacing, and the width is 400 and the height is almost 110. So if I say this as the same size, or how about rather than clicking, okay, I will just let's try to hard code this one for now. Say it's 24 and Abu Dhabi for a minute, and I'm going to change it like this. So this is a hard coded value, and beneath it I need a sales chart, sales year over, and product increase. So to do that I can go back here. So with the sales chart I have only the line series. So if I go to the line series chart here and I placed it around the same point, I can plot my sales because I have already the sales value. So I have this sales value available, and if I select multiple months, all those months are showing up here. So if I need to plot it against month, what I can do, I can in the x-axis I can generate the month. So this is now showing by month. So to format it more, what I can do, I can label this one, things like that. So let's do it quickly. So we have the starting position, we have 130 and then 400 width and then 50, I guess is the height. If I go back here, the height here was 190. So this is fine. So we can do it like this. So maybe I can do it like this. So height is really small, and I can do a few more things here. Obviously I need to adjust the title, so the title should only say sales. It should be middle aligned 16 or 14 maybe. I can go by the 14 because so once I do all those things, so let's go and I can change those titles to 14 as well. So this become, so let's whenever you are doing the theming, you can actually set up this in your theme as well. So I'm doing it here as well. So this is my sales, and I because I have already shown the sales, so I don't need this one. So I can remove this one from here. So in the x-axis, I say x-axis is categorical because we have months. Y-axis is linear, fine. Other thing is like Y2 is already off. Data colors, I don't need data colors. Data labels is off as well. And one more thing here, if I go here, so I have already turned off these two as well. These two, this title and this label. So how do you need to turn this off? You go here and you turn off the title. So there is no title available up here. And I say I don't need labels here as well for this x-axis, and I will do the same for the y-axis as well. So if I go, I need to turn off this title and the grid lines and this one as well. I don't need this one, so I can only turn on the data labels here. So this is showing 118K, something like that. If I select only Abu Dhabi, it will show me this one, and I don't need this x-axis because I have already this label. So what I can do in the y-axis, I have already turned off this title and for the x-axis as well. So I need to turn this off as well. So I have turned all those two things available, and to add a few more things here, what you can do is you can have shapes. You can have shape, solid round. So you can have the, so let's see. So I say, okay, 2 is fine, 3 is fine as well, I guess. And So I have this show marker thing available, and I can have the marker as, so fine with this, I guess. So this is very much similar, or you can increase the marker size as well. So I think 5 is fine. So with this, we have almost done everything similar. You can set the tooltip, other parts here as well. Okay, if we need more space, because this is, if we hover, this is show me January, February, March. So I don't need to have these labels in the x-axis available here as well. With this, let's do one more try here. So what about if I turn this off? Because I really don't need these display. So when I already So I think this is something with the x-axis. So let's turn off the title. So title is off. The grid lines, I can turn off those grid lines as well. So we have something similar here. Let's go back. Let's save it for now. So we have, now this is like, we have hard coded this one, but what if I want to achieve this as like whatever the filter I have selected, so it would be filled. So I need to create one more measure for this, and I could say this as a city. I could say this as city is equals to selected value, and the column name should be city. And if alternate over more than one city. Okay. So this is my measure. Let's try to play this measure up here. And if I do it in the card visual, so this is showing me the city selected at Abu Dhabi. So if I change this to Dubai, this is changing to Dubai, and this is changing to Sharjah. So rather than having this particular text box, I can use this particular measure. If I select those two, so this is showing more than one city, right? So this is the thing I want. So if I remove this one for now, this text box, so if I deleted this text box, and what I can do, I can actually have this particular thing available here, and I can have, sorry, I can set this one. Yes, you have some questions? Yes, I can hear you. Okay, why I use sum over, okay, I read the question. So this is like, can we use sum x instead of sum, right? So that was the question. Okay, let's, can I answer it at the end, or we are already reached the end? Okay, I just try to finish up this exercise 2, and then once I move, sorry, when I move to exercise 3, I will answer it before moving to the exercise 3. Okay, hopefully this will work for everyone. So here I say the data labels color as white, unit as this, background color I say this as blue. So now, which is fine, right? So if you see here, I have this one thing available, and I can set this dynamically. So this is like, this sales is appearing up here as well. So with this, what I can do, I can actually, because I don't need this to be either this much size, so let's do it like 14 or maybe 18. So, and then we have more space for other charts as well. So if we do it like, I can decrease the size to 80. It's almost fine for us. And then even the height of 60 will work. So this is fine. So I have saved this one. Now for this particular visual, for the sales visual, what I will do, sorry, I need to select this one, and then I can maybe change the size here. Okay. So this is the thing I need. So let's copy paste it again here. And if I copy paste this visual, what I'm going to do, so okay, here I can place the sales year over year increase measure, and you can see this is a year over year increase, right, for each of the month. And similarly, I can create one more chart. If I show you here in my example, I have this chart. So to do that, I need one more chart. So let's copy paste this visual. Why I'm copy pasting this visual? Because I can preserve the lining or formatting. So and now I can change this to, and I have this particular thing called product. So I will, rather than plotting it against month, I can plot this against product as well. So I can plot this against product line. So I have the product line available. I remove this one. So this is showing the percentage increase. Like you can see that these are for home and lifestyle. There is an increase of this percentage for, and if you need to increase like this one, these are disappearing. From where you can increase, you can go to the x-axis, and you can always increase the size from minimum category width. So you can increase this to 50. So you have, okay, why this is not taking into an effect? Usually, okay. Okay, fine. So this is like fixed. So with minimum category width, I can show you how much is being shown, what is the increase. Here, what we need to see, we need to see the product sales. So rather than having this measure, I change it to the sales measure. If I go back here, I use the sales measure here for the values, and these are my sales, and I can fix my width to 400. So I have this thing available here with me, right? Okay, sorry, I was using the wrong property. So rather than minimum category width is like this one, 20. The maximum size is actually, I'm going to increase the maximum size of the width. So now this is showing me the 40 as well. And I can always turn off these these titles. So I don't need this title here, and for the x-axis as well, I can remove the title because I don't need the title for the x-axis as well. And for the height, you can always adjust height to be 300 or 400. So I'm fine with this as well. So with this, we have actually resumed the exercise. We have finished the exercise number 2. And in the final part, if you go, we have the exercise 3, develop slicer panel, button, bookmarks, align report theme. So the report theming part, we have already done some of the report theming part, and we are into final 15 minutes, I guess. So, and you see, if I click any of the measure, so I can right away see the sales of that particular city, and this is all dynamic, right? And we need to focus on this one as well, these charts. So let's delete all of those, and then I will try to focus this one as well. Okay, any question? Yes, we have one question from some X. Why I'm using sum here? Because I don't need anything else. So sum X is if I show you the format of the sum X. Sum X is actually asking you to get a table and then the filter expression. So if you have an explicit filter expression, like if you want to filter it out by, like I say, okay, I have the table called sales, and then I need an expression called, I need to filter it by city equals to something like that, or I need an expression filter sales table, and then the filter expression is city equals to Abu. So these are the instances where you use sum X. So when you are explicitly having an expression, a filter expression, all selected, all accepted, all accept. So with these you can use the sum X. Since I don't need to filter it out anything, I'm just summing up the sales value. So that's why I'm using the sales measure and simple sales thing. Sorry, simple sum function, which is only going to sum the sales value. So this is the sales function. That's why. Did I answer your question? If I answer your question correctly, please mention it so we can move to the next part. What if I delete this one for now and I created a sales measure and I say it by product line. I'm doing it for one purpose. I have this product line. Yes. You are saying something, Adriana? Okay. So I'm now moving into the final exercise. Please let me know how many minutes or how much time do we have for the final exercise. How much? Okay, don't worry about the time. Okay, so thank you very much because this gave me enough time. Sorry, enough relaxation, so I can simply do some more, try some more things here as well. So if I go back here, and I can simply do this one. Width is 400. Y-axis, x-axis is 12. Turn of the title. name of the title here as well. Okay, so this is the one which I have created. So now let's try to focus it out. Like I have selected one city. If I've selected none of the city, so this is showing me more than one cities, and then we can have everything here as well. So I need to adjust some of the labeling and other things here. So to do that, I need one more space here. So to get more space, what I will do, I will just try to drag those for now, and then we can adjust these later on. So here, if I remember for the, how about if I do it 14? Yes, this is fine with me as well. And then I can almost decrease the size more. I can maybe decrease the size to 40. Let's do it Abu Dhabi for now. Okay, so this is the thing we have arranged. Now let's try to follow this. This was our first page, and we can do some more magic here. So let's try to bring sales, because your management is worried about what sales, what other values they are worried about. So let's say they are interested in sales, they are interested in average sales, monthly sales, yearly increase, these values. So we need to show these as boxes as well. So how you can do these as boxes, like I can go here, I can simply do it like this, 220, 10. For the height, I can definitely 60. And for the width part, I can say 140. Category label, I hide, turn on the title, and title should say sales. How much the size? That should be 14, middle, same theming. So this is my sales value. Or how about if I do it like this one? What you like? Give me a, so if I do it like this, and I try to, in the data labels, I try to format the colors as white, and the size is 22. So we can fit into the size as well. If I go remember correctly, okay, we can do it like this. So sales is 163. So this is more readable. Or also one more thing here, if I can go, maybe the title here. Title is fine, I guess. Label is fine, and we can increase the width to 140. 140 is fine as well, and the height should be 90. So we have some space here. So if I do it like this, sales 90. This is our sales value, and then we have the average year-over-year sales increase. So if I need average sales value here, and let's say this is our average sales size, and we can do it like average sales. Then we have total sales available up here. What was 220? So we have something similar here. I can make a copy of this again. So So let's do it here. I can arrange this one for now. And I say this as not this one, this percentage. So I say this as the title as percentage year-over-year sales, or you could say as growth, but the growth would be like if you have a decline, so you don't show what and then of course you need the number of orders, so you can have this number of orders here as well. Okay, so 670, and then here I have this number of order, or maybe I think number of order should be here, sales, average sales. Let's try to quickly do this. This is number of order, this is average sales, this is going to be sales, and then this is year-over-year sales. So let's only do the adjusting with the title. So this is my sales, this is my average sales, and this is my number of order. Okay, so with this you have something like on the card visual, you have these card visuals available on the top for this particular city, for this particular city, for this particular city, and you can always have this one, like you can have this only this month selected, you can leave all the months. So you have for this particular city and for this particular year, you can have this one as well. And if you need it for the whole city, so you have this one interactive charts here available as well. Any question? Is everyone? Yes. So with this, we have almost do something here. So we have now let's adjust this part here, and I will move to the last part, which is publishing. So if I go back here, I have already consumed the height of 90. So it should be 110. Which is fine. 110, 170. 160. I can do the percentage YOY sales. So now let's what we have done here. So do you like what we got till this point, till this chart? We have developed this chart. You can always arrange these all those 4 cards here, or you can move the placing, you can play. So how about if I want to have these filters like this is my default filter. So let's going back to the exercise number 3, which is going to have a hide and reset slicer bookmark, add a button to configure the bookmark. So we are now moving into the last part, and the last part is to configure a bookmark. So this is the bookmark pane. I created a bookmark and I say this, I need to create 2 bookmarks, hide and reset. So let's say I create only one bookmark called reset. So this bookmark is called the reset state, and this is my default state. So if I view the bookmark, now this is showing default state. Okay, if I click any of the month, May, if I select May, and now I click reset, look, this is bookmark is now reset to the original state. Okay, now let's try to add a button. Insert a button, and I create a blank button here, and just keep the same sizing. I can have this because all those heights are 90, so fine, 90 is fine. 1000, sorry, placing as 1000, and then the width as 270 maybe, which is fine, and the y position is 10. So I have added this bookmark. I have background. I set the background color as this blue, and now I'm going to add the text. So text is, I set the text as reset filters, and I can change the color, and I can change the size as well because everything else is 24. So this is my reset filter, and here I'm thinking I don't need this. I offline. I don't need visualizer here. So when I click this button, I need to define an action here. So I'm going to turn on the action tab, and on the action tab, I'm going to navigate it through the bookmark. And which bookmark? Bookmark is reset, and I can provide the reset filters. So this is the tooltip appearing reset filters. When I click this one, so let's say I have this May selected, and when I click this one, this is now resetting it to the default state. Let's say if I have this to Abu Dhabi, and if I click this to Abu Dhabi reset filter, now this is resetting to the bookmark. So we have finished the third exercise as well. Any question till the point we have? Now we are moving to the final part to publish this report, and I'm going to publish this report for now. And to publish a report, this is very simple. Meanwhile, this is asking for publishing. You have 2 options here as well. Mobile layout as well. You can do the mobile layout thing from here. So in the phone layout, you can generate the phone layout from here. So you have this heading available, sales dashboard. On the top, you have city filter. Whatever city do you want to select. Or you can do it like this, maybe because I just got the idea that we have some space we need to save. So you can have this one available. Or you can always leave it like this. So you have only 3 months, and then, so now if what other things I need to show? I need to show this one, number of orders. So I have this number of order available here. I have this average sales value, so I can adjust those visuals. I have this total sales value available with me, and I have this percentage year-over-year increase. So once I have all those information available with me, I can now plot the charts as well, and here I can see what the city selected, and I can place all those charts. Sales chart. Here I have sales year-over-year increase chart. You have the visualization for, make sure two things like the slice up these, and then you have the reset button at the bottom. So I have this layout my dashboard. Now if I go back to this is my desktop service layout. Now save this file and now publish. So when I publish this file, I have this Power BI days available. I publish this file and I go back to the service and I can see this file available here. So this sales analysis 14 is available and I can see this file for now. And when you are going with the phone view, you are going to, if you are going through using through Android device or any other device, iPhone, you will be able to see the phone layout from that particular app. So now I have published this app. I can consume this app. I can share it with my colleagues through here. I can share the workspace. I can publish the app as well. With this, we have almost finished up the agenda. So this was the thing we were looking after. If anyone has any question, you can ask here. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and thank you for staying with us in this particular session. Thank you Intellinsight, Adriano, South Florida Power BI user group for arranging this wonderful session. And we have this session and the workshops available as well. So we have workshops for financial modeling, sales managers, HR professionals as well. So we have those exercises where we build all those things. So today I showed you how you can do the customization part, how you can do the dynamic thing, everything you can learn from here and you can apply those in your industry. With this, I'm now going to hand over and wrap it up, hand over the mic to Adriano to wrap it up. Thank you, Adriano.